Got a SA-35 mid 7000 serial number. I was pretty excited to get it. Couldn't find one forever. Went into a local gun store, found one. Took it to the range same day. First round, failure to feed. Shoots great, love this gun, but you know, the dreaded extraction and feeding issues. I shot about 200 rounds first day. Had 4 failure to feeds, and then about 3 failure to ejects. Um, Made me kind of sad because it's a sick gun. But anyway, thought I'd go over what I did to fix it, so that way it's reliable, sadly. But anyway, so first couple things I did while I had it apart, I just polished up this surface here, just a little bit there, because they were rough around the edges. And then the trigger bar here, where it contacts. The trigger was already pretty nice out of the box, but you know, it was new, it had a little bit of grit, so just polishing those up made the trigger, in my opinion, feel a lot more crisp, because basically this pushes up on this bar, which pivots on the roll pin, and then just pushes down the sear at the contact point to drop the hammer. So to fix the failure to feed issue, it's really an issue, you know, there's been the known extractor issues where the machine marks here are cut before the channel, so the marks hold up the extractor from working. Mine initially did have issue with that, because if you put a bar in there, you can pry the extractor to hear it working, and mine was scraping, you could hear it. So you can see I had to drive out the trigger bar roll pin here in order to get the extractor out by driving out this roll pin here. And when I pulled the extractor out, I just ran a file on the inside of the channel, then test fit, made sure I had no issues there. I also noticed though, when I had the extractor out, the profile was garbage. It looks to be like a metal injected part and not forged, so some pieces might be good and some not. You can see that little shiny part of the extractor right there. That was actually jagged, so when I had this out, I polished and radiused it, and also the radius here was very sharp, and so it was biting into the casing. This fucking camera. Well, okay, you're not going to be able to see it, but anyway, it's chewing up the brass quite a bit. And then I noticed too, so let's test fit around in here, you can kind of see that shiny mark right here. This was had some jagged machine marks there, so when you go to put the cartridge to go to feed, it was actually scraping all the way up with a lot of drag, and you know, that contributes to the problem there. Also, before I reprofiled the extractor, when you do this, you know, just put a bullet in to kind of see how it fits in the channel here. You would push the extractor up a lot, so see, when I push it in, you'll see it rise just a little bit. Before, it was going way, this part was going way down. So let's watch that again. If I can. So as I push the bullet in, the extractor goes down. This was going way down, and so there was an enormous amount of spring tension, basically forcing the case to stay. So like if I hold this down and try and move the bullet, it doesn't want to move. Now if I let it go, I can barely push it and it releases. So it's, you know, it's a compound issue. You got the machine marks from the serrations. You've got possibly on yours, you know, like you can see a little bit of the previous, I sanded it smooth, but the jagged marks there. Then you got the metal injected molded extractor, which has a poor profile that scores the sides of the brass up from digging into it, and it just creates a whole bunch of problem. It sucks that you got to take it apart to fix it properly, but people have sent them back to Springfield and got them back still messing up. So, you know, it's, if you want to keep your gun running, you're just better off fixing it yourself. I've had to do that with a $3,000 POF rifle too, because it wouldn't run and nobody could fix it. But major issue seems to just be the profile here on this extractor. Because if you can clean that up real nice, get a nice radius on there, it's run great now. Because another big issue was it started running fine after all those rounds, but then when on the last round in the magazine, it would hang up. So you're on your last round and you go to rack it, and then this gets stuck in the barrel like that, with the edge of the extractor gripping it and it being forced, the slide not being able to go into battery. And so now, you know, it works great, and the machining on everything else is pretty good, like this barrel, the locking lugs, everything matches up really nice. It's just, none of that matters if the gun doesn't cycle. Let's see if I can get the spring in here. But overall, I mean, this gun shoots beautiful, man. I am so happy with it. So let's see. So let's give it a little demonstration here. So we have a live round. Don't try this at home. So now, let's see if I can get it to bind up. You slowly feed. See, that's how it would get stuck, like that. See, just like that. And now you know if it's your extractor because you can push it on the back right here and it'll close. See, that I did it really slow so it jams up, but if you rack the slide properly, it won't jam. It used to jam all the time, and I'd have to press really, really hard on this extractor to get the slide to move forward, or re-rack around and let it slam home. So see, now it ejects properly. Let's do it with this. See, now if I just slam it home, it'll be fine. Beautiful. It used to not even do that at all, so it's a vast improvement now. And see, I'll even close it slow, but not as slow as I did that first time. Beautiful. Well, there you go. Just thought hopefully this can help somebody out there.